Hello, and welcome to Policymakers, a podcast wherein I, Senator Waldron, and my good friend Sean Sheridan will put forward policies one at a time in the hope of alleviating some of today's biggest political problems. Enjoy the show.
Hello, and welcome to the show. You are tuned and listening to Policymakers, a show where me, Senator Waldron, and my very good friend Sean Sheridan,
hello,
try to solve social ills of the day through new and interesting policies.
Absolutely. It's all about outside the box thinking.
Outside the box thinking. Like, it's kind of ironic because right now we're recording inside of a box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, technically, okay, my house is kind of small, but it's not really a box. It's a house.
Well, the wall, it is made of cardboard.
Look.
No, don't get me wrong, what you've done with the place is marvellous.
Yeah.
It looks great.
Exactly.
But it's still a fridge box, mate.
The amount of houses across the world that are built out of paper, it's the biggest thing in Japan.
It's true, yeah. Yeah, that's probably just your Japanese heritage coming out.
Exactly.
So let's get
You're
into
not
it.
allowed to look at me.
I know, yeah, it's the Asian look. You're just that slight, shallow skin, and you're a very beautiful Japanese person.
Thank you.
A terribly ugly Irish person, but a beautiful Japanese person. So this week we're going to be discussing the Irish film industry. But before that, Sean, how the devil are you?
I have been extremely good, sir.
Yeah.
I've had an incredibly boring week, I'll be honest with you. It's just been doing shit that needs to be done. Watched a shitload of Netflix. I've just got Netflix, and it's kind of
just getting on the buzz now.
Yeah, it's kind of destroying my social life entirely.
Yeah, it's good. That's what it's for.
Yeah, I could go out and socialise and be around other people and grow as a person, but there's entire seasons of Archer to watch in one go.
Yeah, I mean, like you could go out and I don't know, meet the girlfriend or find someone new or interesting people, or just watch all 9 seasons of the Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, and I've kind of done that.
Yeah.
And
it's a great show. It's a great service.
Yeah, that and looking up that and trying to find the weirdest anime I can.
Yeah, the whole weird anime. Like that's sending you rotten there. Who knows what to come back with?
By the way, look up Space Dandy. It's fucking amazing. But anyways,
this week, Sean, as our regular viewers would know that we have been on the delay. Yeah. Because while you were arsing around watching Netflix, I was making powerful political statements in the European Commission building in Europe. For policymakers.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I got some exciting brand new news. Like I said, fresh from the debate, fresh from the visit to the European Commission.
Yeah.
I'm proud to say that policymakers is now officially a country.
Yes.
The EU is defined as its own independent state.
Does this mean we have diplomatic immunity?
Diplomatic immunity, baby. Yeah.
I have been waiting so long to hear that. I am above.
Check it out. Get one of these.
Yeah. Is that freebase?
Oh yeah, baby.
Don't mind if I do.
Yeah, get on it. It's fresh.
It is very Moorish.
Yeah. It's a policymaker's home brand. It's our main agricultural homestead.
Tell me about what you're doing. I need to take a minute.
So we got up there, we debated, we talked to Ming, Sarkozy, showed them all it was all about it, got kicked out of the place, snuck around the back, had to wear like a catering outfit. Mike had to hide on the trolley, we snuck in all the rest of it. The thing is though, right? That when they sign in a new nation, you could just run up there and just add your nation while they're signing it. It goes through. It's so much of the European Commission, so many of the rules that are let through on a international level, on a European level, just snuck in.
So they don't check this?
Well, they check it, but as soon as that gavel goes down.
So it's one of those things like how ecstasy became legal for like a day.
Exactly. So what we did was we snuck in, we pretended we were handing out salmon, and we got into the main European Commission building, and they were putting through a treaty to allow the milk quotas.
Really?
They have international milk quotas now.
That's
So
amazing.
So just as they were like, okay, is this bill going to be passed? Is this bill going to be passed? Just as they were raising the gavel to lower it, we said, and policymakers have declared an independent country to freedom of whoever nations. Bang! And then that's it. Now it's official.
Beautiful.
And we got the knights and everything. We have to design our own passport now.
Well, it'll probably just be like a picture of a dog.
Well, it takes time to develop these things, but
so we have a lot of work to do. We have to come up with like our flag, our official bird. The important
official
stuff.
bird, our tax system. What would be our national sport?
Yeah. I would point of order. I'd like our official language to be known as jive.
Well, Jive would work. We were going to say sham. Right now, sham is leading, though. Maybe
well,
jive could be a sub-language, like Welsh.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
like,
Fair enough. So, look,
But the most important thing is...
we'll have a committee.
We'll have a committee. We'll
Yeah.
describe that. We'll establish our parliament and our commission, all the rest of it. Most important thing is, though, we applied for about 4.2 million grants.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of grants coming this way. One of them is
And-
bound to land, right?
For what sorts of things? Like just
Everything.
Pints?
But yeah, pints. We have a pint grant.
Yeah.
We have an indigenous pint grant. We have a foreign pint grant and a
Mm.
foreign exchange pint grant.
Excellent.
And that's a pint of lager. And then
Yeah.
it'd be more of cider, stout, what
Yeah.
have you like that.
Yeah. Did you send Did you attach the picture of me looking really desperate to the cider one?
Yeah, that's on our crest.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
that's our national crest now. That's
Yeah.
the crest in our army. Oh, by the way, we need an army now.
Ah, Jesus.
So
Okay.
far, our commander-in-chief is
Mike
Patch.
It's Patch.
Patch is our commander-in-chief at the moment. Our head of police is the former detective Buddy McNulty, so...
Oh, right. Yeah. You got him over from Interpol. Fair
yeah,
play.
it was tricky, yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah, it was good to see him back.
You know, he gave
Well,
up,
you offered him your own country.
yeah, he gave up the judgeship for that.
He gave it up, yeah.
And he's going to stop chasing us for that other thing.
Oh, I didn't think about... Well, maybe that's why he agreed to it.
Yeah.
That could be why I have to meet him tonight in the underground garage.
Yeah, you might want to cancel that.
Mm.
You know, you might want to.
You know what? I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Look, just offer it to Judge Mary Fahy, and it'll be grand.
Yeah, we'll see
Alright?
Mary Fahy. She'll put it in for us.
So anyways,
So anyway, on with the policy. Would you like to go first?
no, I think
You want me to go first?
yeah, sure,
Okay, so the policy this week. Funding for the Irish film industry.
yeah, and just general ways to
Yeah,
improve it.
ways to promote the Irish film industry.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know? And even though I was extraordinarily busy, this was a whole big caper, by the way. This
Yeah.
involved George Clooney. We had to get a couple of helicopters,
Yeah.
salmon truck, I think import special salmon. It was a big deal.
Yeah, you thought it started off as Ocean's 11, it turned into Hitman 2
Yeah,
somewhere
yeah.
along the way.
But not like one of those Hitman levels where you pass in. It's easy, like one of those ones you could download. It's kind of like a joke level.
Yeah,
So it was busy. It was a busy week.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I only just got in an hour ago. But I wrote this on the plane.
Excellent.
So this should be great, right? Okay, so this policy is called War Live.
okay.
Yeah. Avengers Assemble, Iron Man V, Transformers, Transformers 3, Transformers 4, Skyfall. What two things do all these movies have in common?
Lots of CGI and girls with nice arses.
Wrong.
Okay.
Number one, they're all part of the top 10 highest grossing movies of all time.
Okay.
With a collective gross taking of $8.8 billion.
That's a lot of money.
That's billion with an M. And altogether, that's officially buttload of cash.
That is true. That is true.
Mhm. That's enough cash to buy 20 Hawaiian Islands.
Mm-hmm.
Enough cash to buy 40 mega yachts. 80 trips to space. The Chicago Cubs 8 times, or one good baseball team.
Okay.
That's one for all our baseball fans out there.
Yeah. it's a big cross section.
Big cross section there, yeah. And number two, they all featured guns, and lots of guns. New guns, old guns, real guns, fake guns, man gun, robot guns, even space guns.
Yeah.
Guns and guns.
I do love me some space guns.
You do love your space guns. That's
Yeah.
your favourite type.
You know,
I'm more of a robo gun man myself. But
the amount of times you've seen me running down the street going, pew, 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 fuck you, space lizard.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the free basing, right?
Yeah. By the way, that shit's great.
Yeah, it's nice, right? It's real crisp. It's gonna,
Yeah.
like I said, it's a national crop.
Beautiful.
Now, Sean,
Mm.
what are guns used for? What is the main use of guns?
Opening tricky doors.
That's right, war. War. What is it good for? Well, I'll tell you. Expanding a movie industry.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, 9 out of the top 10 highest grossing movies have featured death and mass destruction, unless Frozen had some massacre scene I didn't know about.
They dropped it in editing.
They dropped it in editing, that's what I thought. Yeah.
There was going to be like a rape of Nanking scene in there, but they couldn't make.
like
they couldn't-
the Killing Fields.
Yeah,
style thing.
that's what she was told. That's what Let It Go was originally going to be about.
Right.
She was going to be singing that to like the families of the
Yeah,
victims.
just let it go.
Yeah.
And then just
just let
wiped them out with AKs.
pretty much.
Yeah. In contrast, Irish movies are about one of two things:
Yeah.
depression
Okay.
or the North.
Yeah, there is that.
That's about it. That's
Yeah.
about our entire movie industry summed up.
Or, casual racism if it's Martin McDonagh.
Yeah, but that's usually about depression as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
you know what I
fair
mean.
enough, fair enough.
It leads into depression.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Now, if the Irish movie industry wants to make billions with an M,
Okay.
all they have to do, is have Ireland's best actors and actresses, and make them generals, and make every single person in Ireland pick up arms and fight underneath one of their armies.
Okay.
Everyone just needs to pick up a gun and start shooting.
So, how many generals are there going to be?
Well, if you're, we have it written down here. If you're, if you're an actor of any kind,
Okay.
then you have a rank in the army.
Okay.
Actor or actress, I should say.
All right. So I've done a little bit of extra work in the past. Would that get me up to like
Well, that make
private
you?
or
Nah,
something?
I'd say you'd probably make you a corporal.
Okay.
Corporal, maybe a sergeant.
Okay.
I mean, you do a lot of the stand up as well as a lot of crossover.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
probably-
There is a little bit. you know.
Yeah, I'd say it's sergeant.
But so who would be the generals?
Well, I'll tell you now. Look, we would promote Irish actors from all kinds of acting skill. So you would have a lieutenant would work as like lieutenant would be a local actor.
Okay.
Maybe perhaps a couple of stage plays. We've got a walk and roll on the bill. Well, congratulations, Captain.
Yeah.
And your name is Daniel Day-Lewis. Well,
Yeah.
well done, Commander in Chief.
And so where would like say Mondo and Fair City? So,
Mondo and Fair City. Well, he'd be sort of. He'd probably be a colonel. He'd probably be a specialist. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Like, you know what I
okay,
mean?
fair.
Like the same rank as a captain.
Yeah.
But with less respect.
okay.
You know,
So
like a radio operator
so
or something
not
like
not
that.
like commando or anything.
No, nothing
Oh,
like that.
Okay,
yeah,
fair
yeah.
enough.
I mean, maybe someone like Pierce Brosnan. He'd obviously be a
Right.
commando, right?
Okay. Hang on. He'd have to be like an admiral or something. He was Bond.
Yeah, he would be an admiral, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be a
Come
sea
on,
captain
yeah.
or something like that. I could see him wearing one of those
Yeah, exactly.
sea
But-
capines.
So,
Yeah.
and these would just be like opposing factions in Ireland.
Every 2 months of the year,
Yeah.
from July the 1st to the 1st of August,
All right.
which, you know, is the light.
Okay.
For lighting reasons, obviously, you know.
Yeah.
The studios would come along and would set up millions of cameras, maybe
Okay.
even billions of cameras all over Ireland.
With
and
them.
Billions with an M.
Okay.
And we'd start just shooting, get people to start shooting each other and just start recording every bit of footage we get. If nothing else, we get lots of stock footage. And stock footage is a great way to make it into the market. That's how Paramount started.
That is true. That is very true.
Yeah, I don't think that is true, though. But we've already tried this on a small scale in Ireland. This is a growing system. First, we tried it with Michael Collins in 1996, which was a good start with a budget of 28 million, only 14 people dead, and only one case of Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
It was a great success.
Well, I don't know. Julia Roberts, it spreads.
It does, but it may profit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
It
true.
may cash. She makes bank.
Mm.
She opens. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? She does open.
But there were lots of ginger kids with scary smiles and popped up around Ireland all over the place. She gets around.
I hate Julia Roberts. I just don't get it.
Just don't get the appeal.
I just don't get the appeal. I don't think what it is. It's like
Yeah.
white rice. You know, I don't see the point. And then a few years later, in I believe it was when was it? It was in '98. We had Saving Private Ryan down
That
the
is
Whistler
true,
Mountains.
yes, we did.
That was '98, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That also had a budget of 28 million. Total global takings $450 million
Yeah.
with a B. And only 94 dead, and a bonus Ted Danson. So that was a good start, right?
Yeah.
That was good, right?
Bonus Ted Danson is always good.
It's always
you
a good
can't
start.
you can't argue.
You can't argue with it. I mean, it's a Ted Danson. He's, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to take Normandy, and if I don't, I'll give you Paris.
Is that what Ted Danson sounds like to you?
Yeah, I guess.
Have you like never watched Cheers?
Cheers. What's Cheers?
Never mind. Come on.
Yeah, the guy from Three Men and a Baby?
That's the one.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as good as Three Men and a Little Lady, but, you know. Opinions.
How many people died? There was what, like 20 dead on that set?
Oh, no, that was a massacre. That
Oh,
was a
Jesus.
real, like...
Let's not
yeah,
even get
that was-
into
but
it,
they were
man.
Canadians, so it doesn't
Yeah,
really
let's-
count.
let's
You
not
know what I
even
mean?
get into it. It was a bad time.
It was a bad time. It was a dark
bad-
time. It was a
Yeah.
dark time in them.
The early 90s were a weird time.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal time, yeah.
You know, that Soundgarden album killed like thousands of people. But anyways,
Yeah.
go on.
So if you'd like to see the Wicklow Mountains painted up like a World War II Italian battleground, if you'd like to see Limerick as a modern-day Iraq, or Sligo as a post-nuclear warfield,
Yeah.
which let's face it, it's not going to take a lot of makeup.
That is true.
It's pretty much a
That
lot of
is-
places in Ireland that are already very
pretty
war-torn.
post-apocalyptic. Yeah,
Yeah. You see those Connemara Mountains?
yeah.
Jeez,
Pretty grim.
grim
Pretty
stuff
grim.
out there. It's
Just
like
put some pillboxes around there. Put some dead bodies all over the show.
it's like Fallout 3 without the charm, you know.
Or the Yaogwai. But
So, Sean, to summarise, if you want to see Colin Farrell and Cillian Murphy in the sniper battle, if you'd like to see Colin Meaney and Brendan Gleeson toe-to-toe with battle axes, or Bronwyn Gallagher mow down hundreds of innocent civilians with an AK-47, then vote yes to the war policy. War. Live. Floor is now open for questions.
yeah. Okay. So you're going to give actors,
People in the Actors Guild.
major actors, leading roles in our military. Does their lack of military knowledge or training not
Well, let's face
give
it.
you pause for thought here?
Let's face it. Big actors,
Yes,
good actors, certainly in Ireland, the actors we export, especially to Hollywood,
that is true.
most of them are method actors.
You've got a point there.
If we had Daniel Day-Lewis as the commander-in-chief, there's no way he's not going to go to West Point.
Yeah.
You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Fair point. Fair point.
And would you not follow Liam Neeson into battle?
Yes, I would.
You would, right? And if you saw Brendan Gleeson was like, come on, over the top,
Yeah, he
You'd
would
get
give, he
right
would
over
give
it.
a rousing speech.
he'd give a
but-
rousing speech.
But that being said, military leadership isn't just rousing speeches and going over the top in a cool and dramatic fashion.
No, but
There's-
movies are.
That's true, but
Yeah, you see?
you're talking
Billions.
about like a War of the Five Kings type scenario
Mm-hmm.
for real. Are we talking live rounds here?
Oh yeah, proper live rounds. Yeah, like weapons and stuff. Probably airdropped in.
So you're going for like Dogma 95 style realism.
Yeah, if we could get, like I said, would start, what did I say, the 1st of January, the
Okay.
1st of July to the 1st of August,
Mm-hmm.
something in that range, summertime range.
Okay.
We sell that time to different studios. So we
Okay.
go to, say, Paramount and say, well, you're making a sci-fi movie about the war things. We could totally wipe out North Limerick if you want to do that. Like Paramount, Universal
Yeah.
would be like, trying to make a Stalingrad movie. And it's like, fuck, Dublin North Side. Hello? Just set up the cameras and get ready. Sean, you don't just like walk in and pitch a movie and then make that movie that day. There's planning, there's preparation,
Yes,
all that kind of stuff.
I'm aware of that, but
But the battles themselves will be real. There won't be any one collective war we'll fight. It's not for anything. It's just for the profit, man.
okay. So
Billions with an M.
So you're advocating pointless war for profit,
Yes.
but we're just going to film it.
Yeah. Just like Vietnam. Anybody?
I
Anyone give me something like that? Come on,
I-
that's great. That's classic.
I don't think. Actually, that's probably why
That's
Vietnam
exactly
was
why
fought.
it happened, right?
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. That's a two-pointer right there.
Just for Tom Cruise's performance in Born on the 4th of July.
I mean, it was worth it, right?
It was worth it.
It was worth it.
It was absolutely worth it.
You don't think that
It
we
was a
could
good.
get...
It was a good
It
performance.
was a great performance.
You can't.
It's an excellent performance.
You can't.
He was
argue.
robbed of an Oscar.
Yeah, I mean, was he even nominated
He
that
was
time?
nominated that time.
Really?
Yeah, he got beaten by, I think it was Scent of a Woman, beaten.
Ah, that's nowhere near Pacino's best.
Pacino's best. But
That,
if you tell
that
people,
was just a political move.
That was it was a voted in kind of
Yeah.
thing. But you know what? That's nothing to do with us.
Okay,
That
yeah.
movie made bank. That's what's most
Yeah.
important here is making bank, bro.
Okay. There is the elephant in the room here,
Mhm.
all right? Fassbender.
Yeah.
Right. Two issues with this.
Mhm.
One, I don't think, with his busy schedule as a Hollywood A-lister, he would, it would be kind of hard to see him taking a few months off every year to fight a pointless war for profit. in
Yeah, okay.
Ireland. Second off, he's part German.
Mhm.
And at the risk of sounding xenophobic, I'm not too comfortable with German, because he would be high up there.
Oh yeah, he's one of the best.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
And-
definitely one of the up and comings. Even in
and
Montgomery. Yeah.
At the risk of sounding xenophobic, I'm not sure if I'm comfortable with the German just sort of taking over our military. Because
Yeah. But having said that, though, it wouldn't actually be our military, though. It would be a military made up of hundreds of different actors and millions of extras.
So would there be like a safety thing on this where we, if they get a bit out of hand, we can just send in the actual army to
Yeah, all the like the islands.
Yeah.
Like the Aran Islands, Tory,
Yeah.
Buffalo, like that. They'll all be safe zones. That's where we'll keep all our artillery and navy, and we'll just wait out there
just-
from the 2nd of
and
July.
just
Have a holiday.
Just shell the shit out of them, Battle of Dublin style.
If they need to be shelled. Yeah.
And another point.
Mhm.
Another point. I've got two more points.
Okay.
One, civilians. Are we just going to leave them where they are?
No,
or
they,
is there
they,
going
they
to-
will be the soldiers. There'll be no civilians. It will just be
So
soldiers.
it'll just be soldiers, like say, going into Thurles and just like fucking shit up.
There, have a gun. Have a gun. Get everyone a gun. Right, you guys are the good guys. You guys are the bad guys. It's future Detroit. Michael Fassbender is taking command. He has to fight, Adrian Murphy in,
Yeah.
a pitched battle, urban warfare because of the,
Okay. And
action.
third point,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to kill a lot of fucking people.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to die. A lot of people are going to die.
I mean, I can't get over this.
yeah, there's going to be a
you're
lot
to
of
kill
deaths, man. Yeah.
shitloads of people.
I mean, even if everybody doesn't aim at each other, there's going to be a lot of accidental deaths, man. There'll be a lot of bullets just flying around the shop.
Yeah, you can't just kill a lot of people.
It's
Just
going to look amazing.
yes. It's
I mean,
gonna
look,
look
you're
amazing.
going to tell me if you don't get, say, let's say we turn Galway into a I know, it's very exciting, isn't
I
it?
know, right?
So let's say we take Galway and we turn it into a Vietnam-style village.
Okay.
And then we get the, let's say, cities from Fair City
Mm-hmm.
to take pilot training and then come in and destroy it via helicopters and choppers.
Right.
And everyone in the city who were dressed in black pajamas and give them AK-47s and they could shoot back, fire
Right.
back, but they're all going to get wiped out, Like a lot of them will anyway. Everyone in Salt Hill for sure. Right? Are you telling me there's not a movie studio somewhere in Hollywood right now that wants to make a Vietnam movie that would kill for some excellent live footage?
Okay.
Like that stock footage. That's stock footage of a war of real death. Billions. Millions. Look how much money Saving Private Ryan made.
Could we not do wars that are like European theaters? Because I don't think
Yeah, I mean, if we want those suckers in Europe to take all our billions, then sure, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that European theaters of war.
Oh right, yeah, like Galway up as like
Yes.
Dresden or something
Yeah,
like that.
because Galway would pass as Dresden before. Wait, you're going to kill a lot of fucking people.
No, I don't know.
cannot help but go
it
back
depends,
to this.
depends whatever the studio wants. You know what I mean?
I for a myriad of reasons, I can't back this.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. Yes.
40 mega yachts.
40?
40 mega yachts.
Okay,
You go to space 80 times.
but you are going to you're going to destroy my hometown, and you're going to get the cast of Fair City to do it.
Well,
That's offensive to me on countless
I know,
levels.
but I mean, 20 Hawaiian Islands.
20
20.
are, probably the shit ones.
Yeah, but there's still 20 of them. That means you could have, whole parties on each island and never have to visit them again. They'll always be clean.
But
because
we're
of these
already a
islands.
sovereign nation. We don't need 20 islands.
Hawaiian Islands. It's not about the island. It's about owning an Hawaiian island. It's like the mega yacht.
I'm sorry.
Or the Chicago Cubs.
I'm sorry. I can't get behind
back
this.
policies?
There's the murder. There's the destruction. There's
the
fast
stock footage.
Yeah.
There's our credibility in the movie industry. It's the billions with an M. I mean, if you want to make bank, you gotta kill a couple 100,000 people.
Yes, but think of the infrastructure damage.
Conamini driving a tank straight into Limerick.
Look,
Yeah.
we were all at that stag do. It's not the first time he's done it.
Yeah, it was
right?
fun, right?
It was fun, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And I have footage of it on my hard drive.
A lot of people got injured.
Yeah. By the way, if anyone wants that, it's bidding starts at 50 grand.
It's worth it. You want to make bank, you gotta kill a few people.
Look, I'm sorry, I can't get behind
Can't
this.
get behind it?
I'm sorry, I really am.
That's a shame because, I've made a lot of arrangements lately. I've been on the green light a lot lately.
What have you been doing?
The European Commission, there was a lot of Hollywood actors there at the time.
Have you been talking
a lot of
to
serious producers?
Have you been talking to weapons dealers again?
Not exclusively weapons dealers, but a lot of weapons dealers. The People's Republic of Policymakers doesn't actually have a solid income base.
Yeah.
So
Because neither of us have proper jobs.
yeah, so
But,
we kind
yeah.
of need to let arms companies
Yeah.
do whatever they want
Yeah. See,
in the country.
did you not think of,
Oh, I didn't think at all.
I noticed that.
Yeah. Have you tried the beer in Belgium? It's phenomenal.
That is true.
It's small and super strong.
All
yeah,
right.
it worked out well for me.
So anyways,
Yeah.
so I says to Mabel,
So he says to me, he says,
right, are you ready for my plan?
billions with an N.
Yeah.
Hello, this week's episode of Policymakers is actually sponsored by Policymakers because we are now on SoundCloud. That's soundcloud.com/policy-makers. So please come on and log on through SoundCloud. You could favourite us, you can leave us comments, you can even download some of your favourite episodes and listen to it whenever you like. So please log on to soundcloud.com/policy-makers and enjoy the rest of the episode.
Yes, I am ready.
Okay. I call my plan lights, camera, exploitation.
Great, I like it.
Okay.
Good start.
Now, you know your film history, as do I.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I both know that some of the biggest names in the history of film
Mm-hmm.
have come through the exploitation cinema system.
Okay, right, yes.
You know, Scorsese, Coppola, Nicholson, they all worked for they all worked for Corman back in the day.
Yeah.
The director of Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn, he started off as a director for Troma.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Yeah, years and years ago.
Brain dead, Peter Jackson.
Exactly.
Right, yeah,
Exploitation, Romero, fucking Raimi, people like
yeah.
that, they,
Big name actors,
big
directors.
name actors, directors, they all started off in exploitation cinema.
Yeah, I can dig it.
Yeah, it's a system that works.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Why not just take it? Why not just do what they do? What we need is an Irish exploitation cinema industry.
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
but it has to be specifically Irish one.
Right, obviously to promote the local
Yeah,
industry.
because
yeah.
The Australian exploitation cinema, it wasn't at all like the American one,
No, right.
and
yes,
that's
of
where
course.
directors like Peter Weir came out of.
Yeah, just like say if the British one would be very different from
Exactly.
whatever one, the Australian
No.
one or whatever. Yeah.
And,
okay.
people like Rhys Shearsmith came out of that
Yes. Okay.
and
yeah.
went on to bigger and better things.
Yes.
And so what I'm proposing is that we make a bunch of Irish exploitation films,
Okay.
genre pictures.
Right. Yes.
Because genre pictures always sell. Be
Yeah.
it the horror, be it the revenge movie, be it the sports movie, things like that.
City comedy. Whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You're not going to win awards with them, but people will watch.
you make bank.
People will watch. Exactly. So what I'm proposing is we do an Irish version of blaxploitation cinema.
Right.
But not actual blaxploitation cinema, because as we know, there aren't a whole load of black people
there
in
isn't- I
Ireland.
wouldn't say no. There's not a. There's
There's
a growing community, but
a growing community, but as
But
it's,
this is not.
you know,
It's not Chicago.
as it stands,
Yeah.
as it stands, a blaxploitation genre in Ireland would be made almost exclusively by and for Paul McGrath.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what we need to do,
The Oldby stories about Phil Lynott. Just doing Phil Lynott stuff.
exactly,
Yeah.
just
okay.
being Phil Lynott,
Yeah.
and played by his son Phil Lynott.
Yeah.
So, and that would get very old very quick.
Yeah.
However, the largest minority we do have
Uh-huh.
is Polish people.
Right. Okay.
So I'm suggesting, first off, is Polsploitation cinema.
I like it already.
Right.
This is it writes itself. I love this. This is genius.
I've even come up with
I'll
the
give you a
story.
green light
I've
right
even
now.
come up with the storyboards for a story.
Right.
It's called Dirty Wojciech.
Okay, I'm listening. I got
Right.
it. You have my ear, sir.
Okay, it's about
Go
a conflicted young man leaving the Polish army,
Mhm.
getting a telegram from some family of his over in Ballahadrin, saying that his brother has been killed at his work in SuperValue, in what appears to be a horrifying, cardboard compressing accident.
Right.
But he knows deep down that his brother would never be so careless. He suspects foul play.
The Polish are usually a very careful people.
Exactly. So he goes over to Ballahadreen, looking all pimp and cool, and driving around in a Volkswagen Passat with techno music blared to the last, wearing his finest 3-line Adidas tracksuit.
Yeah. Looking good.
Looking good.
Yeah.
He finds
cleanly shaved.
Yes, he finds out in between a montage of him just working out. It's got nothing to do with the story. He just likes.
He
it.
just likes to work out. He's a strong guy.
He's a strong guy.
Yeah.
Exactly. And from there, he just gets out of his Volkswagen Passat and beats up every Irish person in the town.
Yeah. Okay. So what? He works his way up. He goes up to the first guy.
Yeah.
The first guy said
he's working his way up to the big boss.
Yeah.
Rossa O'Doherty, the shady manager of the SuperValue.
Yeah. Former mayor. Turned
connected
Connected
to the shams who sell hash down by the road, by the pub.
The most powerful people in Baton Road. Yeah.
Ballahadreen. And we already have connections. We know a few people from there. They can sort out settings.
It'll be easy.
And basically we just have him going around beating the shit out of Irish people. Where he kills someone, drops them in the trolley out in the car park, and just goes. And when someone asks him, "Hey, where's Declan?" He is trolleyed, and moves on.
Okay, I like that. Yeah.
And and as well as that, there's just going to be a lot of hardcore. Where he just,
not going to head out.
where he a lot of hardcore violence and a lot of hardcore. Besides, where he just runs into, where he meets some nice-looking young ladies and just sort of, because they can't resist a bit of dirty boy check.
Who can?
Who can't?
He's the man. He's the man. Exactly.
He's the man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
See that tracksuit? Always shiny.
Yeah, exactly. And it comes to the end of the movie where he beats up the bad guy and he just says, "Go to the Mets," kicks him into the river. Bish bash bosh. Roll credits. Take it to the motherfucking pay window.
Yeah.
That is the first.
That's movie number one.
That's movie number one.
We're going to make a
shitload of money.
That's like a good. That's coming out of the trap there. Yeah.
Everyone else will find it offensive as hell. The Polish people in Ireland will flock to see it.
Yeah.
And
it's a good idea. Yeah.
Now granted, it needs a bit of padding. I haven't really come up with characters or a plot or anything.
Listen.
Or staged out some action sequences or anything like that.
If Demolition Man has taught us anything, is you could just put a load of random crap together and it'll make $500 million.
Yeah, you got a point there.
Right?
You got a point there. Basically, the idea, what I'm going to do is a lot of cocaine and I'm going to write the script in like 10 minutes on the back of a fag packet.
That's how they do it. That's how they make movies.
That's kind of where I'm going with this.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, when we've made like 500 million with the B, once we've done that, right, then we're going to move on to the horror picture.
Oh, horror shows.
Right. And we're going to do this Guillermo del Toro style.
Okay.
The main character is going to be a child. But once again, it's going to be done with an Irish flavour.
Uh-huh.
So, it's going to be set in one of those really awkward Christmas parties that you have with your family.
Yeah.
And our lead is going to be 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And there's a door. And, he's getting very bored at this really boring Christmas party where no one really likes each other but their family, so they try to get along anyways.
Yeah.
And
Michael's home from Australia.
So he wanders about the place, and that's when he finds out that the door in the back kitchen that's always locked, because there's always one in every Irish country house, is actually the door to hell.
Is that where our door goes?
Yeah.
Oh, Sean, that's a hook.
That's a hook.
That's a hook right there, right?
Everyone
has that door.
Everyone has that door, and it'll just make them think, what's behind that door? I've never been in there.
It's not worth opening.
Yeah.
It's not worth the risk.
Basically, if we need people to like seal that door shut. It's going to be that scary.
Right? Yeah, horrifying.
Exactly.
Like you said, there's one in every house.
Yeah.
It's like having a horror toaster or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and he's
I like
going,
that.
you know, and he's going to run into stuff that looks like some shit out of The Fly, and he's going to be running from that, and it's going to have something to do with fascism. And, you know, at the end of it, he's going to learn something.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But, you know, it's going to be like a weird gothic fairy tale in the end, but with loads, and I repeat, loads of hardcore action.
Lots and lots of hardcore action.
Lots and lots of
hardcore action.
Shitloads.
Like
of
from
hardcore.
start to end, like
just like,
just like he opens up the door
Yeah.
and then just
yeah. There's just going to be loads of hardcore action,
Right.
and there's going to be like shitloads of scary monsters coming out there going
yeah.
rah, and him going
coming
"Ah!"
everywhere with guys pulling his face falling
And he-
off and just
He's going to be there like, "Ah, this represents Franco somehow," and he's going to run away. You know, and there's going to be another thing coming out. It's like, oh God, you're fascism personified. Oh my God!
Yeah.
And he's going to run, and he's somehow going to become king of the underworld and learn something along the way.
yeah.
And I call it Billy and the Door You Shouldn't Open.
It's a great title.
Yeah,
It's an
exactly.
excellent title. That's
Exactly.
an A1 title.
Right. And once we make like another 500 million.
And is it going to be like Billy saves the day,
Oh yeah.
gets the thing, becomes king of the
He becomes king
of the
Yeah.
fascist underworld?
But
And he comes out and goes back to his parents' dinner,
yeah.
and the parents are just getting at it, just hardcore,
Hardcore.
Right, I could dig it. As
But you know, this was all down in the underworld.
of course,
They have no idea
They
what
have no
happened.
idea. This. Yeah,
Yeah.
it just all happened behind
Exactly.
closed doors.
They
behind
thought,
the closed
you
door.
know, they thought he'd had too many coleslaw sandwiches and thrown up or something. He
Yeah.
just went to bed.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, you know, but he wasn't. He was down in the underworld fighting a Balrog or some shit.
Yeah.
Once again, a lot of cocaine. Write it on the back of a fag packet.
Details.
I'll figure this shit
Details.
out. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I've got this.
Okay,
I've got
all
this.
right, all right.
Lots of hardcore. But anyways,
Just getting into it.
just getting into it.
Hardcore it would be.
Yeah. Bardcore. That sounds like a brilliant kind of Shakespeare rap.
It does, yeah. When he was mad at his rap with Shakespeare. Do you know what else Shakespeare liked?
What?
The hardcore action, man. Pour off thou on my wang. Yea, Loweth, I have come with a pizza.
And verily there be extra sausage. So
Yeah, that's good. I like it. Exploitation, yeah.
And from there, we make the sports movie.
Oh.
And this is the
One
one.
of the opus.
This is the one that we sell to the overseas market.
Right. This is our
Yeah.
brain. This is our Lord of the Rings.
Right. And once again, like all exploitation cinema, it's going to be cheap and derivative.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take the plot of D2 The Mighty Ducks and transplant it to a Tipperary junior hurling final.
Right.
Right.
So is it like exactly the same?
Yeah. So we're going to get Mondo from Fair City to
Okay.
play a guy
Good start.
who he's done. So you know he got caught drink driving and he's been sentenced to some community service, training a ragtag hurling team.
Right.
You know, and no one believes they're going to do anything. They play they train on a car park.
Yeah.
They've got
Back to Super Paddy.
their hurls are bits of Wavin pipe.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and they're just the biggest. You know, they're just a big bunch of mess ups of kids. You know, and he has to bring them all together
Work as a team.
to work as a team.
Together.
There's going to be a montage where they all start trusting each other.
Yeah.
And then and one of them's going to have daddy issues or something like that, and one of them's going to get cancer halfway through.
And tell me, is it like some way through the thing when one of the players, say the centre forward,
Yeah.
gets injured, can't play anymore?
Okay.
Like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
But then they go to the back of the restaurant
Mm.
and they see a Russian lad being mad good of a hurl,
Yeah.
and they're like, "This lad,
Yeah.
he's the boy."
Even though
he's
it
the
makes
man."
literally no
sense. It doesn't
whatsoever.
matter. It's like, what's your name? Bill Paloff. You're a new centre forward, and he's excellent.
Exactly.
And
he's
you learn
got-
something. You
and
learn
he's
something.
going to be the same guy who played Dirty Wojciech. We're
Absolutely.
Going, we're going to
I had
have,
the
we're
same,
going to
like,
have a
6 or 7
rotating
actors.
cast.
Yeah.
And
I like it so
Yeah.
far. That's the one we sell abroad.
that's the one we sell abroad. They're going to love it. And I even have a bit of the final inspiring speech.
Oh, I'd love to hear that.
Yeah.
Give us a go.
Okay, I'm going to need some swelling orchestral music for this one.
Okay, hang on a second. Now let's see. GA
Yeah,
Junior Minor County Final.
yeah,
Things aren't looking great.
Hmm.
Behind by 2 goals.
yeah.
Still plenty to play for.
Exactly. That's my motivation.
Come into the locker room.
Right.
Scene.
Jesus, lads! What the hell do ye call that? Paddy, if I see you marking another man like that again, I will bait you into the wall. Look, alright, everyone, take a knee. Take a knee, boys, take a knee. Right. Do you know what it shows on the crescent of this town? Bale of Oak. The dragon. And you know what the dragon has? The dragon, he has fire in his belly. So what I need you to do, I need you to get all of the fire in your belly and put it out on that field. And one way or the other, we will bait those evil bastards who somehow are Russian.
Yeah.
Even though that makes absolutely no sense in the context of the film. In the context of the game in general, it makes absolutely no sense that we're playing them in the Olympics. It's not even an Olympic sport, but I have no idea what's going on at this point. I've had a lot to drink. So what we need to do, we need to get the fire in the bellies, boys. Fire in the bellies. And we need to take it out there in the middle of the field. And I need you to scrap and fight and claw for every inch of this game. And I need you to hit the hurl hard. I need you to shoulder them in the face. I don't want your shirts coming back grassy and dirty. I want them coming back bloodstained. But remember to enjoy yourself. And they all give a swelling yay! And they go out and they beast them with the last puck of the game.
Fantastic. Is it the pull-off? Is he the one that gets the last puck of the game? No, I bet it's the kid with cancer, right?
It's the kid with cancer.
Defender?
Of course it's the kid.
It's the defender?
Yeah.
They're like, no, he can do it.
Yeah.
He gets up there, scores the puck.
Yeah. I believe in him. And of course, at the end of it, the cancer kids, Ma and Mondo, they get together. You know, she used to play camogie back in the day. There's a scene at the end where she just goes, slide her in.
Right into it, just deep in there. Yeah, okay.
Roll credits, take it to the payment.
Straight to the Oscars.
$500 million is what I'm predicting. $500 million with the bill.
A cool half bill, huh?
A cool half bill.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you reckon, man?
Well, I have to say, the last movie?
Yeah.
About was it Monaghan GA?
No, it's Tipperary.
Tipperary? Yeah, terrible.
Okay.
In fact, this whole policy overall is a disaster. It's like a minefield that's just had a preschool just going a field trip in there and they're just wiping kids out.
Says the guy who suggested an actual minefield in an actual play school.
I mean, you have no story, no structure. Small structures you do have, you've stolen from someone else.
Yes, I've done a lot of cocaine and come up with...
Yeah, that seems to be your life thing.
You know, I figured I'd get into the movie mogul state of mind.
Yes, granted, but first you need to be able to make write movies, direct movies. You have no cast, you have no actors. You don't really have a story.
I've got Mondo from Fair City. I just told you.
You've got one guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, and I know a Polish lad down the road who says he can act.
Those movies are, they just, even in my mind, the trailer looks terrible. Having said that, I can't back that policy, but I'd say I'll give you $50 million for Dirty Boy Check.
Done.
All right, let's get at it.
Verbal handshake, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that's a verbal handshake for me and a verbal handshake from Sean Sheridan.
Yeah. And on that note, we've been policymakers. Go all in.
We'll see you all next week.
You have been listening to Policymakers, a podcast written and produced by me, Senan Waldron, and Sean Sheridan. It was a Robot House production.
You've no idea how fucking thick and prickly this shit is when it's grown out.
Yeah, I would prefer if you put your pants on. That'd be great.
Alright, look.
Or wax. I wax.
I was showing you the fucking landing strip.
I'm telling you, man, you got to wax. It's like a turbo shot.
I'm showing you the fucking landing strip. What are you going to do? Jesus.
Well, I wouldn't fucking land a 747 on it. I wouldn't land a 7 on it.